Buenas tardes a todo el mundo, que va a hacer? Me llamo Kevin, yo soy el chinito lindo, a.k.a. el machito rico. Bueno, so what's up guys, my name is Kevin, a.k.a. Chinito Lindo, that's what they call me here in Miami. Nací y crecí aquí en Miami por toda mi vida, entonces ahora estoy haciendo ese canal para compartir todos mis consejos y experiencias que he tenido aquí en esa ciudad para llegar a un hispanohablante proficiente así. So I basically wanted to create this channel so that I can share and give advice on learning Spanish and what I did basically to become a proficient Spanish speaker. Yo no soy hispano ni latino. My padres son de Vietnam, and so my parents are from Vietnam. We're Asian, so we're not no relationship with any Latin places. So basically, I wanted to share 3 tips that you guys can do to help improve um, your Spanish learning. And like, there's so many apps and programs like Rosetta Stone and Babbel, I think, Duolingo. But I feel like a lot of people have tried and failed, after taking so many courses and so many years of Spanish that they, at the end, don't even feel comfortable using the language practically. So, 3 tips. My first tip is to make a friend. Hacer amistades. Tú sabes, como, it's not enough just to say, hola, me llamo so and so, yo soy estudiante, estoy estudiando eso, yo vivo aquí. That's very basic Spanish that honestly doesn't really say that you can be proficient in the language. My first real opportunity and way that I really escalated my Spanish from textbook to real life was just speaking to my friends and making friends that actually maybe that their first language is Spanish, or that they are actually, when I was in school, I actually made friends with a lot of ESOL students. And yes, they learned, like, we spoke in English, but when I was starting to learn Spanish, I really emphasized, hey, can you practice with me? So, it took my Spanish to a whole new level because I wasn't just using the basic as far as introducing myself or, asking for the time, o qué hora es. No, eso no sirve. You need to bring your Spanish to real life. So what does that mean? When you have a friend, you try your best to at least say, I made a friend and I asked him, can you help me with my Spanish? So what I did was basically for like an hour or 30 minutes, or let's say you're having lunch with the guy or the girl, you can just say, let me practice as much as I can with you in Spanish. And with that, the conversation starts to flow. You really start to put yourself in that mindset and living in the language, not just like translating. Because when your friend asks you, oh, cuéntame de tu día, ¿qué hiciste hoy? ¿Qué vas a hacer mañana? Oh, qué bueno, ahora estoy comiendo lo que sea, arroz con pollo, mañana me voy a ir a hacer un proyecto, no sé. And with that, it really forces you to use whatever you can just to communicate. And so making friends is definitely one good tip that anyone can do. I understand that some of you guys might be in places that you don't have a lot of Spanish speakers, but Spanish is the second most predominant language in the United States. And wherever you guys are, if you guys aren't watching from the United States, then this video and this channel will mostly be for people that are English speaking primarily trying to learn Spanish as a second language. So if you don't have, a lot of people or friends that speak Spanish proficiently, you can always do pen pals, Facebook, maybe join actual cultural organizations in your community with other people that are trying to learn the language or really exploring. That's one method, making good friends, and really trying to practice whatever you can. And so that brings me to my second tip. Go on a date. Yes. So some of you guys are fresh out of luck. Maybe you guys are married or you already have a bae. But when you speak Spanish and we're speaking in any language, when you're trying to really express your emotions, it really forces you to become fluent in the language. Because even in English is my first language, and like a lot of times if I'm with somebody I really like, I struggle to say what I feel, even in my first language. So imagine doing that in a second language. So I'm not saying you need to go and be in a committed relationship with somebody that predominantly speaks Spanish and you barely know any of the words. But and I'm not saying to just date somebody just because they speak Spanish or they're Hispanic, because not all Hispanics know Spanish well, and trying to date someone just because they might speak that language, that's kind of fetishizing. So we don't condone that. But if you have the opportunity and you're dating someone that says that they speak Spanish, or maybe you move to a Spanish-speaking country, and obviously there's plenty of people that speak Spanish around you, go ahead and try dating. Go on a date and have like conversations. Obviously, you can be like, I don't know much, but let me try to practice a bit on you, and it gets fun. So for me, a lot of times, like, you start to learn terms of endearment. So like, ¿cómo tú estás, mi amor? Oye, mami, tu machito está aquí. Something like that, things like that, or mami, te quiero dar un besito. So you guys get that. Like, when you go on a date or when you are with someone intimately, and you're trying to communicate with them, if you're doing it in Spanish, it really forces you to grow and develop your vocabulary, so that you can communicate yourself authentically. So that's my tip. That's tip number 2. My third and last tip is to start working. Part of the reason why I'm so fluent in Spanish is that in Miami is a bilingual society. So anyone that tells you can work in Miami without speaking just a bit of Spanish at least, they're lying to you. Other places in the United States I know they have a lot of Spanish speakers. So parts of LA, Texas, any parts of the United States that might be bordering around the Latin Americas. Or what if you're on a business trip or your job involves hospitality and tourism, and you're gonna be around so many Spanish speakers. It's a good way for you to develop and continue to develop your language skills. So for me, my first job was actually a cashier at Wendy's. But again, being in Miami, everything's in Spanish half the time. So, and when you're working, you need to speak on demand half the time. So for me, I really started getting good and fast at Spanish on demand. When I say on demand, I'm saying you're speaking before you're even thinking half the time. So for me, when I was working at Wendy's, I would say something like, "Oh, bienvenida a Wendy's, ¿cómo te puedo ayudar? ¿Qué quiero tomar con eso? What do you want to drink with that? ¿Cómo te puedo ayudar? How can I help you?" And then they'll start talking. They'll start talking so fast. Half the time you can't even like register what they're saying. But with time, things get faster. And for me, a lot of times I didn't understand like maybe 10% of what they were saying. But as you work, and as time goes by, your exposure and your mental capabilities of registering everything that they're saying, and at least the most keywords and common phrases, things start clicking faster. And so I only worked for Wendy's for like 2 months before I went away for undergrad. But after that, I really said like, yeah, I'm proficient. Um, so those are three things that you can do. I know everyone is probably like already taking courses. They've been studying this. Maybe you guys are majoring this. But three things that can really take your Spanish to the next level would be, yes, make friends. Make friends. And, when you make friends, really try and push. Be like, can we speak in Spanish for an hour a day? Two, explore your love life. Go on dates. Maybe you have a boyfriend or girlfriend and you guys, they're Hispanic. So, again, same concept. Try to speak for an hour a day with them. And if you are single and living the single life, the bachelor life, then get on Tinder, make it work. And the third thing is to start working, or do maybe a part-time job or a side hustle. Maybe it's not your main job, because for some jobs, I'm in the medical field, and so if I wanted to actually use a language that I was still learning, it would be kind of risky for me to do that, if I'm handling people's lives, and health information. So maybe not that, but definitely like a side hustle if you want to start off. Again, food and retail, safe explorations for you to start practicing Spanish, and whatever language you might be interested in. So those are my 3 tips. I hope this helps, and more videos to come. I really want to make this channel about my experience as a non-Hispanic person becoming fluent, and well, even to this day, I still have problems. Sometimes I don't even understand if the person has a really strong accent, or it's from they're from a place that I'm not accustomed to yet, as far as accent wise. So it's always a journey, just like English. English is my first language, but there's times where I don't even know what I'm saying, or you have typos, or you forget the words of what you're trying to say. So don't get frustrated, keep going, have fun with it, and see you next time. Bye.